Hi, this is Analysis 1, student outcome 3, oral presentation, ID 185816. The objective of this project is to analyze citizens' perception of security corruption in Mexico and institutional trust in Mexico, using data provided by INEGI 2022 and using the software of Etapa to analyze all the data that are like 1,500 of data. And this is important to identify social key trends concerning to influence how people perceive safety and confidence in public institutions, like the state police, the army, the National Guard, and other institutions that are from the security of Mexico. Well, in the recent years, Mexico has experienced different challenges related to public security, as uses such as corruption, crime, have influenced how people perceive safety in their communities. Understanding this perception is essential to identify social concerns and evaluate confidence how people have in governments, how people have confidence in government institutions. Well, start with the entity key, represent the 32 states of Mexico, how are distributed the 1,500 data that the states that have more answers are from the people that answer more are from Ciudad de Mexico, and the people that have, or the state that have fewest answers are from Aguascalientes. The chart of gender shows the distribution of the data of participants by gender. As you see, there are more women than men. Approximately 827 women compared to 675 men. This indicates that there are more women represent the majority in the sample. Well, in the age, the mean is 44 years old, the standard deviation is 17, the minimum range of the age is 18, then the 25% represent the first quartile, that is 31, then the median represent the 50% of the people that are in between 18 to 43 years old, then the third quartile that are 57, they represent the 75% of the people that are between 18 to 57 years old, and the maximum age that is 98 years old. The mode is 40, that's the age that there are more repeat. In this case, 48 times, or 48 people have this age. More than 48 people have this age. Well, in this histogram of age, you can see this line is slightly squiggled to the right. There are more youngest people than oldest people. They are in the range to 18 to 16 years old. Well, the most participants are between 35 and 55 years old. As you can see, this cumulative frequency of HIF, starts in 18 years old, and they stop or have established this HIF in 16 years old. And this indicates that there are more youngest people than the older in this survey. Well, in child insecurity, more than 800 people confirm that they are having insecurity in their communities or in their daily lives, and more than 600 people not declare this as a affirmative option. The chart of corruption declared that more than 300 people confirm that they are living corruption, or they have experienced corruption in their lives, in their communities, or with different public institutions. The corruption graph can be seen the majority participants, and more than 1,000 of participants not declared this as an affirmative option, or they think they have a different point of view. They think that they're not living corruption, or they have not experienced corruption in their communities. Lack of punishment for criminals, and this represents that more than 200 people think that it's necessary the punishment for criminals, and more than 1,000 people not declare this an affirmative option. They think, or they have a different point of view. They don't think that the solution is to have or to to give more punishment for the criminals. In the perception of safety and public transportation, more than 8,600 people feel unsafe when they took the public transportation, and in more than 400 people represents that they feel safe when they took the public transportation. And lower or fewest, less than 400 people, it's not apply this question because they use other type of transportation. They have a car, they use other type of this. And perception of safety in their state, more than 1,000 of people perceive unsafe in their community, have the perception of unsafe in their lives and in the community that they live. And only more than 400 people feel safe in the place where they live in their community. Well, perception of corruption in the state police and the confidence in the state police. More than 42% of people affirm that there is not corruption. No, there is corruption in the state police. Confirm that there is corruption in the state police, and only the 21% represents that they confirm that there is not corruption. In the confidence, only 6.6% have confidence in the state police. Well, in the corruption national award and the confidence national award, only 22.7% confirm the corruption in the national award, and the 48% does not confirm that it is corruption national award. That's important because the state police is in the fewer of security institution, and the national award is have a more like range in this type of institutions. In the confidence national award, only the 26% have a lot of confidence, and only the 41% doesn't have the confidence, so they distrust about the national award. Perception of corruption in the army and the confidence in the army. Well, only the 22.9% confirm that there is corruption in the army, and the confidence, well, the 35% have confidence, or people have confidence in the army. And that's important because the army is arranged more than the national guard, and the state police is like the top of security in Mexico. That's why they have the lowest answers when the people say that they don't have corruption or they have confidence. That's why they have confidence of the army, and they think that there is no corruption in the army. Well, in the B chart of feeling of being a victim of extortion or kidnapping, more than 50% represent that they don't feel like that. They don't feel like a victim of extortion or kidnapping. They don't have experienced this type of case. But more than 40% represents the people that they think that, or they feel like a victim of this extortion of kidnapping. And the chart of socioeconomic demographic stratum, the 50% or more than 50% of participants belong to the lower middle stratum. That represents that more than 50% of the people, well, are in the middle of stratum and the lower stratum, because they have the sufficient resources to live in a good place, in a better place that have security and with good public institutions. Age based on corruption. Well, in the sample, as you see in this histogram of age, the young people does not perceive corruption. That's affirmative perception. That means that the people that are lower than 16 years old or lower than 50 years old, they feel that there is no corruption because they have experience in this type of things. And in corruption, in case who declare an affirmative option, well, we conclude that the people that perceive no corruption are other people that does not. The people that are not considered corruption or they're not considered corruption are youngest people because they have no experience with this type of public institutions. conclusion, most of people trust in the army, but distrust in the state police. In addition, 4 out of 3 of 10 people feel like victims of extortion and kidnapping, and reflecting on an environment of insecurity in Mexico, in their communities. There are also many cases that with missing data, suggesting that many people prefer not to express an opinion, do not trust the survey process. That's all. Thank you so much.